Our gang, this Hexy. We're back at it again. Baptism by Fire, Battalion Combat Series. And we're playing the campaign game this time, which I believe is Scenario 1 or 5.1 in the book. So the startup was the same as the little 4-turn scenario. Oh, by the way, if I sound a little out of sorts, I'm suffering from a virus, and they're keeping me home here through the rest of the week. But you can only sit and lay on the couch so long. All right, so anyhow, I took a slightly different approach this time on both sides. I decided that I did not want to leave CCA from the 1st Armored Division all scattered in its positions, and it was kind of actually painful to even get them maneuvered. I was actually able to get the 1 Infantry Division out of here, and the mistake was because I attacked him and he had no safe path. Well, the rule is for units like this here, for like the assault, for like attack capable leg units and truck, when they suffer a retreat, not situational, but a retreat, they have to retreat to a hex adjacent to their headquarters. So they got to do the 3 hex retreat, and they either have to be into the same hex with their headquarters or adjacent to it, and they have to be 3 hexes away. Now, I don't know. I probably need to do some digging, or one of you superstars out there can tell me, can he just retreat 15 hexes away if he has to? I don't think so. I think he can only retreat 3. But if he can't do that, then what you do is you take them off the map, and you put them on the next turn. They come back in as reinforcements adjacent to the headquarters, whether there's a MSR block or not, and they come back in their move side. So if I had not attacked this unit, the CCA part of it was a Task Force Drake that was sitting up here. If I'd have just left him alone, he probably would have never done anything, or he'd have never got back with the group. Granted, those guys aren't very strong, but they do have 4 steps, so it takes a little while to kill them. So I was able to get CCA together, but now, as you can see, which I will need to fix it again on their first turn, their MSR is going to be blocked again. It was blocked for like a moment in time, and then it got unblocked, but these reinforcements came on, and this was the route they were using. So this came on and it blocked it. So when they get activated next time, they'll have the MSR will be blocked. And so, all right, so as you can tell, my intention was, let's not leave CCA in place. Let's see if we can't destroy them. So as the Germans, I want to, as best I can, is clear off at least this section of the map from Beitla. Yeah, I'm going to say this thing 40 different times during the filming of this. Over to all the German supply sources, and work on that one up north, which is, I think, entry area B or C. And that is an allied supply source up there at the top of the map. Okay. Now, you'll notice on the map here, now I said we're playing both maps because it's campaign. You'll see I've got 3 little orange chits down. 1, 2, and 3. All right. There are only 4 routes going through these mountains. There's your main one, which obviously that's going to be a key. The 2 secondary ones are here, here, and up there. So the Germans only have 4 approaches. Now, why does that matter? You have 2 objectives in the campaign game if you haven't played it. On turn 6, the Germans will draw one of these 2 chits. They both say BC, and you do it blindly. So even the Germans don't know what their objective is. And one of them will tell you what your objective is. La Kef or Tebessa. Okay. So just so you know where they are, La Kef is up there. All right. And Tebessa, oh, wait a minute. I got to make sure I got that right. Yeah, okay. So Tebessa is over yonder. There's 2 of them, okay? 1 and 2, all right? That one doesn't say either. So yeah, so it's this main road and off of this mountain road. And then you have a bunch of them that say either. All right, so the pretty much an automatic victory is if whichever one of these is drawn, if the Axis can get the units that have tactical movement allowance, that's the ones with the, let me find you one so you can look at it. The ones with the red movement allowance, all of those on the board, it says available, so I'm assuming that's all that's left, have to exit off of that victory hex. So if it's Lekef, it has to be all the way up there at the end, or if it's Tabessa, it has to be all over there. Now there's a designer's notes about what Rommel wanted to do, but the Italian command were the ones giving him his instructions. Well, we know what happened to that theory as North Africa went on. Rommel just ignored them and did his own thing. So we're already pushing. The Axis have already taken Sabatla, right? Baitla, whatever you want to call it, right in the middle. They have pretty much thrown CCC into a shambles. Stark, who this is the guy with the minefields over here. I almost boo-booed in those two engineers in the top right corner, right there. They were up here. Well, they don't have any special rule for being out of command, so you got to move them to get them within range of the headquarters. Now, had this been a normal operation where I did not have decided to take German units and see if I can't shoot around the southern boundary here, all right, which I don't know how that's going to work out. But like I say, I don't know what my objective is until turn 6 when I draw that chit. So I had to send some of Stark's stuff down here. And I got to make sure these guys are within command radius, which is command radius of 5 on the unit plus 5. All right. That's their safe path. Command radius is actually 5, but for the safe path so that they don't become isolated and start losing steps, which I just learned that on this turn. I must not have paid attention to it when I played the first one. But this unit right here, he took, yeah. This guy, he's isolated. He has no safe path to his headquarters, all right? And he's out of command. MSR's not blocked, but he ended up taking 2 step losses. So that's not a good thing. You don't want to take casualties like that. You can see way up north that CCA and CCC's MS or supply or ghost or supply trains are way up here, and they're okay. Your supply trains, all right, from the headquarters to the supply train can be any type of roads. All right, it can be the roads, the secondary roads, or the tracks. Inclusive between the two, all right? But from that supply train to the source, it has to be along the major road or secondary road, I think they call them in here. Yeah, secondary road, okay? However, your optimal range is, 5 to 15? And so you can stay in supply, but as the battle progresses and units get cut off, you're going to find out that they can be in supply, but it's not going to be optimal, which will affect dice rolls for snafu. And I think there's a couple other things it affects. As I'm playing each turn, this gets smoother and smoother and smoother as I go. So I've already blown through 2 turns in the campaign game. And granted, it's the same units other than Stark. Having Stark on the board over here actually is part of it. He didn't get to do nothing on the first game day or the first turn, but he activated on the second one. And I'm going to tell you, your German Tigers, which there's a stack right underneath that red thing. He's got very, very strong numbers. You got to be careful because you go after one of these armor units here, which are probably with the Americans, so they're probably Grants or maybe Shermans. I can't remember. I don't know as much about the desert or Tunisia. See if it was Patton, he probably had Shermans. But you only get a +1 or +2 on the die roll in an engagement. You might, or in an attack. Well, let's see. In an engagement, yeah, if you end up with a 6 to 8 against a real AV unit, which those are, you're going to take a step loss. Well, guess what? Those little Tiger units, they are companies, so they've only got one step, and you don't want to lose. I mean, just to give you an example, this is a breakthrough unit. Look at those. That's on its deployed side. So that 5/5 at the top, and plus he can shoot 2 hexes away. But over here, he's 4/5, so he's still 9. So not only can this guy shoot from 2 hexes, he can attack by fire from 2 hexes. All right. But he's a breakthrough unit, so he gets a bonus there. But it doesn't take much to get a bad die roll and you take 1 step loss. All right. Tips for the game. Yeah. Hope it doesn't rain. Hope you roll high for your snafus, okay? I'm loving this so far. Can't wait to see what this is going to be like in a game with a lot more counters, like when I get around to Bulge. These units here, are these chits here. I don't know. When I opened the games up and started looking at them, first I thought these were activation chits, like a lot of games. I guess you use these on the card. I tell you what I do with these is at the start of the turn, these are sitting off to the side. And when a unit does his activation and he's done, they say you flip the headquarters like to its, I don't know, its first use side, and then you turn it upside down to mark it as done. Well, what I do is I just put this if he's done for the turn, if he's finished, I put this on top, and that way I can look at the map and I see, oh no, I can't move. He's already moved this turn, or they've already activated, so he's done. All right, well, we're getting ready to kick into, by the way, okay, so if you don't meet the victory conditions of moving all the tactical MA units off the map by the end of the game, then you go to the second set of victory points, which is 4.1. So 4.0 is the campaign victory with getting units off the map. 4.1 is when you start using victory points for locations and stuff like that. And then that's when you got to use the victory point numbers to determine what the victory level is. All right, so this is Baptism by Fire. I'm going to keep chugging on with 16 February, which is turn 3. And as you can see on the track over there already, that those American units, the ones on the right are dead. And that one on the 16th, that's one of those ones that couldn't get to his headquarters refuge. That's what they call it, on a retreat. Not a situational, but a retreat. All right, so hope y'all enjoy this stuff. I know a lot of people have been covering it, but I don't think this system's going to take a whole lot to master. And of course, now they got another new one coming out. So I need to play all these other 4 first. All right, let's chug on. Let's move on to 16 February, game turn 3 of the campaign for Baptism by Fire, The Bloody Beginning, Kasserine, 1943. We'll get back to you once we're done.